I'm gonna say at that time it was Khabib time, now Charles time.
Ei, Danote, olha só, eu não quero saber o nome, contra quem é, onde vai ser. Você falou que eu podia escolher, né? Conor McGregor, você vai vir ou você vai correr?
Charles Bullied Oliveira!
The notorious Conor McGregor!
The biggest star in the history of mixed martial arts is making a comeback soon. The notorious Conor McGregor. The question is, who will he make this big return against? And the official champion, Charles Oliveira, seems like he really wants that fight. And why would McGregor not want to fight for the title in his comeback? It is a win-win for everyone. Conor gets to fight for the title, and Charles gets the biggest payday of his entire career. This would definitely be a matchup to look forward to. So, without further ado, we here at Athlete Central are here to tell you everything you need to know about it in this ultimate fight breakdown. Recent fights. Let's start off with the superstar Conor McGregor. He came back to action in 2020 after a couple of years away from the sport, facing Donald Cerrone in his comeback bout. Conor had an extremely impressive performance, coming out hot in the first round and just overwhelming the veteran. Conor landed a nice head kick, something Cowboy is known for. McGregor also landed his now trademark shoulder strikes, ending the fight with punches in 40 seconds. His next fight was a rematch against Dustin Poirier, an event that sold the 5th most pay-per-views in UFC history. The first round was very competitive. Dustin was landing numerous leg kicks, but McGregor was better with his hands, landing several combinations on Poirier and probably winning the opening round. The damage on Conor's legs paid off for Dustin in the second round, as Conor had trouble with putting weight on the leg, reducing the power in his punches and opening him up to strikes from Poirier. The Diamond managed to land a powerful combination on Conor, and when the Irishman was hurt, Poirier followed up with more strikes to end the fight. The score was 1-1, and the UFC decided to step up the trilogy at UFC 264. This time, at the start of the fight, things went differently. Poirier was the one dominating the fight on the feet with kicks and punches. This led McGregor to shoot for a takedown, something that he rarely does. But Poirier reversed the position and ended up on top, punishing Conor with ground and pound. The fight ended up back on the feet, and a sequence of events ended up with Conor breaking his leg. And the doctors then stopped the fight at the end of the round due to the injury.
Dustin the Diamond Poirier!
Moving on to Oliveira, Bronx got his title shot after a victory over Tony Ferguson, and it was an extremely dominant performance. All of the judges scored the fight 30-26 for Oliveira, and for good reason. Bronx was out grappling Tony for the entirety of the fight, showing that his BJJ is levels ahead of El Cucuy. At one point in the fight, Ferguson was caught in an armbar, and even though it was really extended and seemed like it was about to snap, Tony didn't tap and made it to the end of the round.
That's deep. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Oh
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. He might have broken his arm.
His next bout was for the title against new Bellator signing Michael Chandler. The first round was one of the most entertaining rounds in UFC history, as both men landed a lot of powerful shots. And at one point, Charles even took Chandler's back, but Mike escaped the position and got the fight back on the feet. At the end of the round, Chandler hurt Oliveira, and the Brazilian was just dodging shots on the ground while still rocked. Thanks to this, he survived the round. 19 seconds into the second one, the exact opposite happened, where Oliveira dropped Chandler with a beautiful left hook and finished the fight on the ground, leaving the ref no choice but to step in. His first title defense was against Dustin Poirier, a fight where Dustin started off strongly at first, tagging Oliveira with a few nice shots and avoiding his grappling. Yet again, Charles managed to turn the fight around in the second round, dominating Poirier and even having two judges score the second round a 10-8 for him. It only took the Brazilian 1 minute to secure a rear naked choke in the third round and successfully defend his title.
Real trouble. It's under the neck. It's under the neck. It's under the neck. He's got tapped. Whoa!
Oliveira's last fight was against Justin Gaethje. Charles missed weight by half a pound, meaning that the belt was vacated. Despite all of the late controversy, the Brazilian put on a spectacular performance, trading with Gaethje on the feet and landing big strikes. Justin also landed some powerful shots, and Oliveira chose to go on his back when he was rocked, knowing that Gaethje would be scared of his jiu-jitsu. Eventually, Oliveira landed a shot that put Gaethje down and making Justin tap. Attributes. Both men are in the prime of their careers. McGregor is 33, Oliveira is 32, so they still have around 5 years at the top. Their reach is the same at 74 inches, but Oliveira is 1 inch taller at 5'10", while Conor is 5'9". Striking. Statistically, we expect Conor to have better striking and Oliveira to beat him out in the grappling department, but let's see if the stats tell the same story. In terms of strikes landed, Conor is ahead by a mile. He lands 5.32 significant strikes per minute, while Oliveira is down at 3.53. Oliveira spends more time on the ground though, so it is expected that he'll land less significant strikes and in turn absorbs less strikes. The Brazilian absorbs 3.18 strikes per minute, while Conor is up at 4.66, but the Irishman's ratio of strikes landed versus absorbed is still higher. He does have a worse accuracy though. He lands 49% of his strikes, and Oliveira lands 53%, which is quite good for someone that is notorious for their jiu-jitsu. The striking defense is almost identical, with Conor defending 54% of strikes and Oliveira defending 52% of them. In terms of knockout power, McGregor is miles ahead of Oliveira. 19 of Conor's 22 wins have come via KO TKO, and 9 of his 10 UFC wins have also come in that manner, which is extraordinary. Usually, fighters rack up knockout wins before the UFC and start getting more decisions, but Conor has kept it up against high-level competition. Oliveira has 9 knockout wins out of 32, with only 3 of them in the UFC. Grappling. When it comes to grappling, we expect Oliveira to shine. The Brazilian completes 2.46 takedowns per 15 minutes, which is almost one every round, which is pretty impressive. Conor averages 0.67 takedowns per 15, which is unsurprising given the fact that he is a striker. The Irishman has completed 5 out of the 9 takedowns he has attempted in his UFC career, averaging at 55% compared to Oliveira's 40%. But since Charles grapples more often, it is expected for the percentage to be lower. 4 of Conor's takedowns were in a single fight against Max Holloway after all, so it's not a big sample size. In terms of takedown defense, McGregor is ahead of Dubronx, standing at 66% compared to Oliveira's 57%. This could be due to Oliveira's desire for the fight to be on the mat, as he doesn't mind being taken down and has even attempted to pull guard a few times. We saw that against Gaethje, that he would use the mat as a defense mechanism after getting rocked. When it comes to submissions, Charles averages a whopping 2.9 takedowns per 15 minutes, which is almost 1 submission each round. Conor, on the other hand, has only attempted 1 submission throughout his UFC stint, which was unsuccessful. He has 1 win via sub in his career, and that was a rear naked choke finish at Cage Warriors. Charles, on the other hand, holds the record for the most submission wins in the UFC, with a career total of 21 subs and 32 victories. Prediction. This fight could go either way, really. Charles Oliveira has shown his prowess throughout this run of his, going on an 11-fight win streak en route to his title win. A lot of the flaws people saw in him have been eradicated. Even in the lead-up to his last bout against Gaethje, the American said he saw quit in the champion given Oliveira's numerous submission losses. Charles proved all the doubters wrong and has continued doing so on this spectacular streak of his. Even though his striking has improved dramatically, his clear advantage over Conor is on the mat. He excels in grappling exchanges and is extremely dangerous in every single position on the ground. We know Conor's takedown defense is good, but good wrestlers have managed to take him down, and given the fact that Oliveira almost lands 1 takedown per round, Dubronx could very well land one on the Notorious. Conor's advantage lies on the feet. Even in this championship run, Oliveira gets hurt in almost every single fight that he has, which is a big plus for Conor. Almost all of his victories are by way of knockout, so if he can hurt Charles, the Brazilian does not have the best chin. The problem is that Conor has to finish Charles after hurting him, since the Brazilian has shown a knack to come back after being hurt and winning a fight. Oliveira actually managed to hurt Gaethje on the feet as well, as his stand-up has improved a lot, and he has a tendency to land nice kicks, which has been proven to be a problem for Conor in the past. In terms of recent performances, Charles definitely has the better resume. Conor has been inactive, and when he has returned, he hasn't done so well against rival Dustin Poirier. Meanwhile, Charles has dispatched elite competition such as Gaethje, Chandler, and Poirier himself. definitely has more ways to win, and his recent performances have been spectacular, but we definitely can't count Conor out of this one. Surprisingly enough, Conor McGregor is actually the favorite in this bout as he is a -160, while Oliveira is a +130 underdog, despite being on an 11-fight win streak. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Who would you guys put your money on? Drop your fight predictions in the comments below, and make sure to like and subscribe to never miss an Athlete Central video. Until next time.